all your friends you used to move with back in the days. Where are they now?
Most of them have passed now. I mean, we're all old dudes now. We're no younger no more. A couple died in car accidents, cancer. None through violence. None through violence. It's just age and wear and tear. Not looking after themselves. Maybe overindulgence. That didn't help with the booze and maybe the weed. As you know, weed was rife in those days. But it was sad. It's sad to see them, to lose them, because, like I said, it was part of me. These guys that I grew up with. But it happens.
Price of weed. Do you remember?
Weed, half a crown. You get a pack. You can get weed for half a crown. Then it went up to 5 bob. Then it was 10 bob. Then it went up to £1. Then from £1 it went to 2 quid. And up and up and up.
What do you call a bob?
A bob. A bob was a shilling, innit? Because don't forget, it was old money at first in England. Pounds, shillings, and pence. With like a pound was 480 pennies, so I think, 24 cents in a pound. Well, what do you call cents now? And 20 shillings made a pound. 20 times 24 was 480. So that was okay. That was just a bob. You had a tanner, which was 6pence. You had half a crown, 2 and 6. You had 2 bob, 10 bob notes. Then it went to a pound. It was just like old money. Then after that, everything changed then to decimalization, as we have it now.
So who was your best friend back in those days?
My best friend was Beresford Lawrence. I met him, I think the first week when I came to England, I met Beres. And being near enough the same age, because my dad and his father, Mr. Lawrence, were friends. So me and Beres just kind of clicked. We went out together, knock about together, went movies all over the place together, youth club. We even shared flats. When we got older, we shared flats together. He's a good friend.
So where is this from?
Beres was he's from Jamaica. He was Jamaica. He's a nice man. But he got ill. Came ill. He got mental problems, and he passed.
How long ago it passed?
Oh, it's a long time now. A long time. It's got to be over 30 years.
Did you have any kids?
Beres? No, not that I know of. I don't know. Yeah.
Does it cross your mind sometimes?
Yeah.
Right. So, heard that you used to work at the Nile.
Yeah, I got a job. I used to know a guy called Ben, and Ben started working at the Nile as a manager, and he see me one day and asked me if I like to work there. I asked him why. He says, I work in the door with Percy, an old Jamaican crook called Percy Wilson John Gars. Everybody knew Percy. And started working with Percy. 31st birthday, I went out on my 31st to have a 19th of April. Was a Sunday night, because the birthday was a Monday, so I went out the Sunday after 12 o'clock the Sunday. The birthday started, and I walked in and he says, right, the job is yours if you want it. And I started working on that same night, my 31st birthday. Worked to the door of the Nile.
So explain to people, what was the Nile like?
The Nile was a club run by Sonny Bowler, an African man that was well respected by the people of Manchester, also by the Africans of his village. He was like a king, Sonny. Anybody had any problems, they came to Sonny to solve it for him. Yeah. He was a well-known man, and he ran that club for for years. But I used to go there first before I got a job. I used to go there as a, what you call it, as a what you call it, a punt, not as a punter, as a fan of the club. Used to go there, did some courting up there, you know, and then Sonny, he died as well. He got killed, Sonny, yeah, because he used to gamble up there, and he won some money off some people, and at the end of the night they wanted the money back, and he said, well, you lost, you know what I mean, there's no way you can get money back once you've lost there. And at the end they waited for him when he closed the club. They waited for him and attacked him outside, and he died. That's how the Nile was taken over then by Ruddy Clemenson. He bought it.
Let's go back to Sonny. How did he die?
He was murdered. He got killed. Three guys attacked him outside, wanted the money back that he'd won, and they hit him over the head with bars, and he died. He died on Princess Road. Yeah, he died on Princess Road. They took the guys, they charged them because they knew who they were. They charged them with murder first, and then they dropped the charges from murder to manslaughter. And I think the guy only got about 8 years for it. But that was the end. That was the end of that.
Were they local guys?
No. They traveled. They come from some out of Manchester. They'd come down to town. They'd met Sonny at some gambling casino in town, and he told them that he had a club in Mossad if they wanted to come and continue gambling, because he'd won some money from them in town. So maybe they thought, well, okay, we can come and get our money back. So when it came to the Nile, they lost even more. And then, of course, they just wanted to. Sonny was a good gambler. I mean, he was a professional gambler. He went to the casinos nearly every night, and that's how he made most of his money. And they were bad losers, let's put it that way. And then they went up killing them.
So was Sonny connected?
In what way connected? Yeah, he was, well, like I said, he was a leader of the people from his town. Everybody knew Sonny. His son took over the club. He wasn't that good what you call it, a manager, and the club started going down, and that's when Ruddy saw the opportunity to buy it, and Ruddy bought it.
Have you seen any violence at the club?
Yeah, there was a few fights at the club, but like I said, most of the times it was just physical fights, and most of the people who went up to the club, they looked in the club as part of their, you know what I mean, their night out. It was our club. It wasn't like Ruddy's club. It was our club. We went there, we danced there, we enjoyed ourselves there. And if anybody started trouble there, we sorted it, because you're not coming and mushing up our club, sort of thing. So although I worked there, if anything happened, most of the times it was sorted by the guys in the club other than me downstairs, because I mean, the Nile was, if you've ever been, I don't think you've ever been there. The Nile was about two flights, nearly three, yeah, 2 flights up, and the door, we were mostly at the bottom. So if anything happened, by the time we got upstairs, most of the times it was, you know what I mean, it was over, except for the ones where somebody actually died. An argument started up there. An argument that was going on for a while. It didn't even start up there. It started somewhere else, and it continued over a woman, of course. And it just, one night, everything just happened to, in the Nile, the guy was in the corner, both of them was up there, they started slinging insults at each other. Joe, I think one guy was called the other guy was called, and it started, and next thing somebody went up to the thing, came up to and started gesticulating, going on with himself, and he got stabbed him once. From what I heard, if he'd kind of walked away after it happened, he most probably survived, but some big thick set guy, so only a scrawny guy with a bad leg. So of course he came back and he stabbed him the second time. The second time was fatal. Started shaking, he dropped and he died there and then in the club. That was the only kind of violence.
He was working that night.
Yeah. I was downstairs. People came running out and I was asking what happened. People just panicked. Because like I said, they had fights, but they never seen anything as vicious as like that. And people knew he was hurt. That he was fatally hurt the way he fell. And I'm trying to ask people what's happening, and they're saying, "Oh, he's dead. He's killed him." And I'm saying, "Well, who's killed who?" And he's saying, "Killed." So when I went upstairs, he was there. He was there on the floor. People was trying to give him CPR and that's to stop the flow of the blood, but it's too late.
Wild guess. Were they Jamaicans?
Yeah. Yeah.
Spot.
Yeah, well, the majority of people were Jamaicans that were here. There were more Jamaicans in the clubs than anybody else. I mean, how many Guyanese you know in Manchester? I know about 5 guys, if that I know. Well, most of the people you see here, Jamaicans, Africans, now Somalis, what you call it? There's a lot of Somalis here. But at that time, the majority of people, with the majority of black people in Manchester, were Jamaicans.
Did the police get involved?
Yeah, the people had to phone an ambulance. In most side of the time, you know yourself, if you phone an ambulance, the ambulance notified the law, and the law escorted the ambulance. So we had the ambulance, and we had the law, and everybody that was there, that was still there, was questioned. They say what they saw, explain to the police what they saw and that. They asked me. I said, well, I was downstairs. I didn't see anything because by the time I came upstairs, everything had happened. When the guy walked out, was he covered in blood? Did he still have a knife in his hand? Stuff like that. But they knew who'd done it. I mean, it wasn't a stranger and stranger. They know who had done it. They know who they were looking for. I think to hand himself into the police station anyway. They didn't have to go and find him.
So was people talking to the police those times?
At the time, yeah. Well, it's not just saying what you saw. I mean, it couldn't be hidden. It's like it happened there in the club. Everybody that stayed after. I mean, you had the bar staff that were there. They couldn't run out, so they stayed, and they had to say what they saw. So it was a cut and dried case anyway. Like I said, he went to the police station and admitted what he'd done and gave them a reason for doing it. But like I say, there was something that was going on for a while, for 3 or 4 months from what I hear this thing was going on. It just happened that it ended up, the final situation ended up in the Nile.
Went to prison for this?
The funny thing is he didn't. He didn't because the other guy was the aggressor. And people took into consideration that when the evidence came out that he'd been bullied by this guy for over the period of time. I don't know the full. I'm just going by what was stated. That he'd been bullied by him over a period of time in the pubs, when he saw him in the streets, he'd been calling him names. Because like I said, something wrong with one of his legs. When he walked, he kind of leaned to one side. So that's when you get 2 men going with one woman. You got a bit of a rivalry that goes on, and it just escalated from there. But he went to court and everything. He got charged with manslaughter at first, and then eventually he got off with self-defense. Yeah, he decided, yeah, self-defense. So didn't do no bird for the.
Did you went back to the club after that?
After that, no. I used to see him on the street, talk to him on the street. Cause you see, the funny thing is, he wasn't an aggressive person. He wasn't a man that went around. I mean, there's some people in my side that if you don't hear them Or if you should just say, if you don't see them, you don't even know they're in a club. They're quiet people. They just stand and have a drink, have a dance, whatever. Then you have loud people. You hear them before you see them. You know, you got that type of person. It was just the opposite. The man was a quiet, polite man. Just one of those. But then again, you can only push a person so far. And that polite person could turn him end up like a bleeding animal. And the outcome was, the man lost his life.
How long did you work at the Nile for?
Let me see. I worked at the Nile nearly 14 years. Was there, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Nearly 14 years. I mean, I only did, Monday, Tuesday, had Wednesday off. Yeah, six nights a week. Worked there. It was a good club.
6 nights a week?
Yeah, it was open every night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. One time it was open every night, Monday right through, and then when it kicked off and had the riots, I think then it went down to just Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? I think it went down to 4 days then. Yeah, it was every night. All the clubs in Moss Side opened every night. It wasn't just weekend clubs.
Was people in the clubs?
Yeah. People came to the club. But with the Nile then didn't come to life until maybe about 2 o'clock. Yeah. Because people went in town, when people went to town first, drink, did what they did in town. And then anybody that wanted a late night to carry on came down to the mosque, either to the Reno, upstairs, or to the Nile. When the Nile was closed, if you still wanted to carry on, you can go next door to Shines. Yeah, you can stay there till 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. Moss Side was on fire. I'm telling you. The times, I mean, we used to be going home sometimes at 10:30 in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning, yeah. From the clubs to the shebeens, stay in the shebeens, chill. You had a gambling that's going on. You can eat, you can drink, you can dance, you can chat. You know what I mean?
Good old days.
Good old days. You chose your hours. I mean, you can go out, go home, change. If you was kind of sweaty and that, go home, get a wash, change and come back out. You know? That's
How was it like working on the door?
At the door, we started from 10:30, but I was used to get there for 10 o'clock, and there was no particular time. When it went quiet, then we threw people out. You know what I mean? Because the night depended. We didn't just want you sitting in the club doing nothing. We want you to spend money. So if you're just sitting there wasting time, we say, well, okay, ladies and gentlemen, the night is over, time to go. But if things was turning over, then it could stay open until whatever.
You must have some people who didn't want to go home.
Oh yeah, we always have. But like I says, after the night, you can always go next door to Shines. So if you wanted to carry on, you had the shebeen. You had Shine just around the corner. You can go to Shine.
Drunken people. How do you get them out of the club? Drunken
people. That was another thing, you know. You didn't have a lot of drunk people, especially black people. No. You didn't have a lot of drunk people. You had the odd one. You had like Beiji. Let me see. I can count about 3 guys that come in our place that got paralytic. Merry, happy, yeah. But most of the guys, most of West Indians can hold their booze. Most of them, you know. No, we didn't have to deal with no drunkenness and none of that.
Big couple guys you have to throw out.
You had to throw out?
Yeah.
No, I never threw anybody out. No, the only like one guy. I had problems with him for about three times. Yeah, but he was too. He couldn't handle his booze anyway. I don't want to call his name now because he's still around. I still see him now. He couldn't handle his booze. Anytime he drank, he got a bit stroppy. You know what I mean? And so a few times I had to bang him just to kind of put him in his place. But otherwise than that, there was never no.
So were you working out then?
Well, yeah, I was working at the gym. Well, I was working at the gym at the time. I was working part-time. I was working Monday and Wednesday 3 till 6. Yeah.
Outside gym?
Yeah. Leisure center downstairs. 6 hours a week, working down there. Putting the kids through, helping the lads, putting them through the paces, and just because you had to look after yourself. To work the dough, you needed a presence when you worked the dough. So we looked after ourselves.
So he was a big guy, big muscles then?
No, like I said, I had a presence. I had a presence. When you worked in the dough, you needed some kind of a presence, you know what I mean? Even if you couldn't fight, you had to look like you could. That was the main thing. Look like you can do it, like you can handle yourself, but people kind of, if you had that kind of presence, you was kind of left alone, so to speak.
I'm sure people like to test people.
Always. Yeah, people like to test people, but we knew each other. Most of the people that came up the Nile, we knew. They knew me, I knew them. Guys around, because Mossad is only a small place. It's not a massive place. So everybody kind of knew everybody. Most of the guys came in here, trained, brought the kids swimming. You see them on the roads. Don't forget this place was covered. It was a precinct. So everybody was, and most of the guys, and I was older than them, because when I was 30, most of these kids was only 18, 19. You know what I mean? So I've seen them when it was at school. So that little bit of respect was there. So we never have no hassle with the kids.
When did you start work at Mossad Leisure Centre?
Well, I used to use the center. When it first opened, I used to come and use it for my training. I used to use the weights. That time I had a boy and a girl. I used to bring them swimming. I used to swim here and there. And I remember there was an instructor, can't remember his name now. And I used to help him out, you know, look at him, see certain things that he was passing on to the kids. And he turned to me and he says, why don't you try getting you some certificates and started become a trainer. So I asked him, like, well, what will I have to do? He said, well, you can study. He used to run a course, BWALA, British Weightlifting Association. He says, if you used to sign up for the course, you can come, you can study. I think it's a 3-week course. And at the end of the course, there's a test, there's an oral test, and there's a written test. And if you pass it, you will get a certificate, British Weightlifting Association, which will allow you to be a trainer. So I says, okay. Studied, went to the forum in Windrush for the test, passed, and then I got a job here. I think that was 1970 something, maybe 75, 76, something like that. Started working part-time, did that for 12 years, just part-time. But I was still working in the doors. So I was doing the doors, I was doing this, and I was doing a bit of painting and decorating. So yeah, well, you had to earn your.
Where did you sleep? Or when did you sleep, just say?
Yeah, well, this was only like Mondays and Wednesdays, from about, like I said, 3 till 6. So I had the rest of, and the Nile was from 10 till whatever. And then I did my little painting and decorating on the side. Not for people that I knew. It wasn't like a full-time job.
I never asked you, was the money good at the Nile?
Yeah, it was okay. I want to stay there 14 years, if it wasn't. I mean, you got a wage. On the same time, you made your pennies yourself in your own little way whilst you was there. I won't go into that either, so don't ask.
Come on.
No. So you made your pennies that way. But yeah, it was a living. It was a living. See, let me see. What can I say? It wasn't legal, but it wasn't too illegal. If you know what I mean. It was just down the middle.
In the nicest way.
Yeah, it's the nicest way. No, but no one was ever put in any danger. No one was ever hurt or anything like that. But you earned a little penny so you could.